Hello everyone! Some facts are so ingrained in our minds that we don't even bother to check if they're true. Besides, everyone around us keeps repeating them. However, sometimes our knowledge is obsolete and no longer true, or worse, it never was. Are you ready to say goodbye to some myths? Then, let's get it on! Blue blood. Let's take a look at our arms. Can you see your veins? There's no doubt that blue blood flows through your blood vessels. If not, why are the veins blue? And the blood only turns red when it leaves the body, probably because of some complex chemical reaction or even a conspiracy. This is an interesting version, but it has no scientific basis. In case you were wondering, blood is always red, sometimes darker, sometimes lighter. The color is caused by an iron-containing protein, hemoglobin. In combination with oxygen, it makes the blood bright red as it travels from the heart to the tissues. Look at your lips, for example. There are many capillaries, so the lips appear red. After transporting the oxygen, the blood passes through the veins again. And no, it's not blue. The bluish tone of the blood vessels is due to our perception of color. Blue light does not penetrate as far into tissue as red light because its wavelength is much shorter. Warm colors are absorbed, while cold colors are reflected and picked up by our eyes. Blue veins are an optical illusion, period. However, there are animals with blue blood, for example, squids, horseshoe crabs, and reptiloids, which control the world. Okay, just kidding, relax. Hollow Earth. Since time immemorial, people have believed that there is another world beneath the surface of our planet. But even in ancient times, these ideas had a metaphorical meaning. As science developed, the structure of the Earth ceased to be a mystery. Let's remember your geography lessons. Under the Earth's crust, there are several different layers, and humans have absolutely nothing to do there but extract minerals. Surprisingly, not everyone agrees with this explanation. The proponents of the Hollow Earth claim that mankind does not know what is beneath the surface because it has not made any shafts more than 12 kilometers deep. And that is where we could find something really interesting. According to them, instead of a burning core, there is a cozy cavity inside the Earth with its own atmosphere, a sun, and even an entire civilization. Moreover, Hitler with his elite corps and a team of scientists are also there, waiting for their moment to plunge the world back into chaos.
Sieg Heil, Mutterfuckers!
You heard right. Many people believe that at the end of the war, a group of Nazis led by Hitler fled to Antarctica. It was here that they found the secret entrance to Hollow Earth, where they live to this day. The funny thing is that some Nazi supporters of Hollow Earth thought that we were already inside it. Dr. Heinz Fischer even tried to spy on the British fleet by sending powerful telescopic cameras into the sky, where he hoped to see the reflection of the Atlantic Ocean. We wonder why he didn't succeed. Higher than the Everest. Well, let's continue with our geography class. Let's see if you can answer a very simple question. What's the highest mountain in the world? Even the laziest students know the answer. The highest mountain in the world is Mount Everest. But you're actually wrong. Maybe Chomolungma? You're wrong again. No matter what you call this legendary Himalayan peak, it's technically the second highest mountain on Earth. Have we been fooled all this time? Not really. The problem is that there are two ways to calculate the height of mountains. If we take sea level as our starting point, then Everest is the absolute winner, rising 8,848 meters above sea level. However, mountains can be measured directly from their base. To see how it works, let's visit Hawaii. More precisely, the Mauna Kea volcano. Next to Mount Everest, this volcano may seem very small since it rises only 4,205 meters above water, but in reality, Mauna Kea is very modest. Underwater, it hides more than half of its height. If you measure the height of the volcano from the bottom of the ocean to the top, it will rise above 10,000 meters, leaving Mount Everest far behind. So it's up to you to decide who's the winner in this competition. Death in space. What could be more frightening for space travelers than meeting aggressive aliens or losing their food supplies on an accidental exit to space without a spacesuit? After all, judging by sci-fi movies, a terrible death awaits you in open space. Your blood boils instantly, like in a kettle, and then the body explodes, almost disintegrating into atoms. If you think that's the case, it's time to stop taking space movies seriously and listen more carefully to your biology teacher. Let's do a mental experiment and visit the space. Yeah, we didn't blow up like a balloon. Our skin skin is strong enough to hold our internal pressure, nor have we instantly become an ice ball. We may feel very cold, but that won't kill us immediately. On Earth, icy water is a good conductor of heat and takes it out of our body immediately. But there is no thermal conduction in space. What is very difficult is breathing. To be more precise, it's impossible. There is no oxygen, and without oxygen, your brain will go into hibernation in 15 seconds, making you lose consciousness. If it's only been a minute or two, it's still possible for someone to save you. After that, you're doomed. Your body may have to travel through the vastness of space for millions of years, but that's better than exploding, isn't it? Diamonds made of coal. When you see a lump of coal, it's hard to believe that this unattractive rock can be turned into a diamond of dazzling beauty. But there's nothing there to believe. This popular myth really annoys geologists because it has no scientific basis. So if you were planning to get rich using a machine that could turn coal into diamonds, you should reconsider. There are only 4 processes in nature responsible for the formation of diamonds, and coal is not involved in any of them. You want proof? Special conditions are needed for the formation of this shiny mineral, a combination of very high temperature and pressure. With rare exceptions, such as the impact of a meteorite, this is only possible at a depth of 150 kilometers or more. Coal, on the other hand, is formed from plant remains deposited on the surface of the planet and cannot be found deeper than 3 kilometers. So almost all minerals formed inside the Earth's mantle, thanks to the carbon accumulated during its formation. Moreover, most natural diamonds are older than even the first plants, which is enough to dispel this popular misconception. Chameleon camouflage. Have you ever wondered what would happen if you put a chameleon on a pile of Skittles? The answer is very simple. This incredible lizard will most likely consider you the dumbest person on Earth. Maybe it will change color, but only because you've spoiled its mood. And in case you haven't understood, the chameleon won't take the color of the candy. We usually think that this reptile changes its camouflage depending on the background, but it turns out that this is not the case. Chameleons have no poison or any other formidable weapon against predators, so their only option is to hide. However, in their natural habitat, they are already very similar to leaves or branches, so in order to hide, they only need to adjust the brightness of their skin. For example, in the depths of the forest, where there is less light, the chameleon takes on a darker shade. The lizards have learned to use this skill effectively. For example, to warm themselves properly in the sun. These cold-blooded animals change color to absorb more heat. You're probably wondering where the pictures of white, yellow, or red chameleons come from, right? Most likely the photos were taken during the mating period, when the males compete with each other in brightness. So all these videos with chameleons changing their color on different surfaces are fake. Tongue map. And now it's time to study an interesting map. But we're not talking about geography. It's a map of the tongue. You may have seen it at some point in your life. This map shows you the areas supposedly located in different parts of our language. The sweet taste buds are at the tip, the salty taste buds are on either side at the front, behind them are the sour taste buds, and finally, the bitter zone is far behind. Are you ready to dispel this myth right now?
Exactly. No, of course they don't.
Of course I don't.
Go to the kitchen, take a pinch of salt, and put it on the tip of your tongue. Can you feel its taste? Exactly. It's strange that until recently, no tongue map theory supporter has thought to do this simple experiment. However, this myth became famous by chance. In 1901, German researcher David Honig discovered that different parts of the tongue react to different tastes at different speeds. The scientist described his research in a diagram, which was later mistranslated and misinterpreted. Scientists make mistakes too. In fact, flavors can be felt anywhere on the tongue where there are taste buds. For example, around the tongue, on the soft palate, and even in the epiglottis. Sharks and blood. Imagine that you are enjoying the waves on a surfboard and suddenly you feel that you have slightly cut your leg. You have to do something immediately. Either keep the blood out of the sea or swim to shore as fast as possible. After all, 1 drop of blood is enough for all the sharks within 1 kilometer radius to smell the prey, take out their silverware, and hurry up to eat.
And there will be blood in the water, and the sharks will come.
Don't you think that sounds too crazy? Of course, these dangerous predators have an extremely developed sense of smell. Sharks' nostrils are located at the bottom of the snout. Inside, they are covered by special cells that react to chemicals dissolved in the water. Because of the extreme sensitivity of these cells, as well as the fact that the olfactory bulb of the shark's brain is enlarged, these animals can easily detect even small amounts of certain substances. For example, if you dissolve 10 drops of tuna oil in an average-sized pot, you may very well find a lemon shark there in the morning. However, their sense of smell depends on many factors. Even if the direction of the current is perfect, they are unlikely to smell a drop of blood. However, we advise you not to experiment with real sharks. Unlimited resources. When we look at photographs of the forests, seas, and winding rivers made from space, we can think that all these resources are infinite. Oil, gas, and other resources are being extracted in colossal volumes every day, and they haven't been exhausted yet. Maybe they will never end. History has already shown us that thinking this way is wrong and very dangerous. The belief that no matter how many natural resources we expend because the planet will constantly replenish them is known as the myth of superabundance. Its consequences were detailed by Stuart Udall in 1964 in his book, The Quiet Crisis. Thus, during Thomas Jefferson's presidency, the myth was a kind of publicity for migration. Come, there's enough nature for everyone. Many were convinced that it was possible to exploit the earth without any consequences. Do you have any idea what happened over time? The forests disappeared and the land was ruined by oil production. The seal hunt halved their numbers. The passenger pigeon, which had an estimated population of 5 billion, is now extinct. It was only at the beginning of the 20th century that mankind's unbridled appetite was harnessed. So if you ever become president, don't let this myth take hold again. Moon's origin. To conclude, we have an astronomical fact that will literally change the way you see the world. What did teachers and professors, as well as encyclopedias and movies, tell us about the moon? Millions of years ago, a huge object crashed into the Earth. A piece of our planet broke off and became our satellite. We have lived with this knowledge for so many years, but it is most likely false. Computer simulations have shown that if this were true, the moon would consist of 70% impactor material and only 30% Earth material. But this is not really true. So where did the moon come from? It was formed by other, smaller moons. Scientists have performed over 100 computer simulations of various types of events, which could theoretically cause the creation of the Earth-Moon system. The model that proved to work best assumes that our planet was hit by at least 20 asteroids, resulting in the appearance of many small satellites. Over time, the force of gravity combined them into one, and now you can look out the window and see the moon with new eyes. Hold on a second. Do you want to see some crazy stories from real life? Nothing dull, only action. Only adventures, chases and fights, love confessions and sudden betrayals. Don't believe us? Follow the link and see for yourselves. Our animation channel Private Diary reveals the deepest secrets. Don't forget to subscribe.